Yo, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy HD MMA back at it again with another video. Today we are going over my instant reaction and breakdown to UFC Qatar with the main event of Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker. Overall, this was a pretty good card. The start of it was very slow. You had a slow start to it, and then as the card went on, it really picked up and really had some good finishes, some good upsets too that I want to go over. And overall, yeah, it was a pretty good card, pretty exciting to watch. A lot of finishes on this card, and overall I went 9-5 on picks, which is pretty fucking good for a fight night. Usually on these fight nights I do pretty bad with my average picks, but 9-5, I think I went 9-5 on my UFC 322 picks as well. So yeah, that's pretty fucking good. I'm getting better at this. I'm improving. Like I said, I'm improving. I'm like upgrade from Ben 10. You know, upgrade. You know, I'm just getting better at this shit. So yeah. Without further ado, let's get into these fights. Unpack this card, and yeah, I'm hyped to get into this. Starting off with the first fight, and I'll go over the main event as well. Every fight on this card. So yeah, starting off this first fight, we got Denzel Freeman beating Murak Bajul. I forget how to say his name, and I'm not fucking remembering it either. We got Denzel Freeman winning by unanimous decision against Murak. Overall, this fight was fucking garbage, bro. It was so dog shit. These guys were just fucking tapping lead low kicks on each other for the whole fucking fight. Just low kick, feint a fucking feint a left hand, feint a right hand, low kick, no fucking takedown attempts, none of that shit. Was just feinting low kick. Fucking Denzel, he would try and throw like a body kick and go up high with a head kick because it was an open stance matchup. And in my opinion, if you're gonna try and score like the open stance rear, like head kick KO, that kind of thing, you gotta throw body kicks, and then a head kick. You can't mix it up with a body kick, then a head kick, then a body kick. That's not gonna work if you're gonna try to implement that strategy. But yeah, they were just fucking, they were not doing anything, bro. They literally weren't doing fucking anything at all. They were doing absolutely nothing, you know. And yeah, it was pretty shit overall. Freeman got the win just because he landed more lead low kicks than the other guy. And yeah, they're pretty fucking shit. I think there were sometimes they were like kind of crashing into each other, and that would cause some excitement. Freeman would land like one left hand on Murak, but yeah, neither of these guys used their grappling, and it was just left to the striking, and they were both scared and timid as fuck in the striking. So yeah, just Freeman landed more low kicks, landed a couple body kicks, and outpointed him on the scorecard. So yeah, Daniel Freeman wins. Shit performance. I kind of hope both of them get cut from the UFC. I'm not gonna lie. This was painful to watch. This was so painful to watch. No more of this. Moving on. We got Nurullo Aliyev defeating Shamrock by unanimous decision. This one was a pretty good fight. I think the main story of this fight was just Shamrock. He was getting looser or getting more comfortable in the octagon as the fight went on. In the first round, he was very like stiff. He wasn't really throwing all that good. Didn't look all that sharp with the striking on the feet. Nurullo was kind of tagging him. Nurullo, he was landing good left hands over the top of a good left hook over the top of Shamrock's guard. When Shamrock, he tried to raise his shoulder and kind of Philly shell it and roll with it. He wasn't like leaning back enough, or he wasn't like turning his shoulder over enough or fast enough to defend the left hook and left hand over the top from Nurullo. And yeah, I would say those were the biggest shots of the fight. Nurullo, he landed like I think three of them over the course of all 3 rounds. Yeah, it was Shamrock. He wasn't really looking all that good on the feet, looking very stiff. And as the fight went on, he was kind of opening up more. But Narula, he just had more power in his shots. All of Shamrock's shots, they weren't really affecting Narula, like Narula was affecting Shamrock with him. And then the grappling, Shamrock, he was able to defend. He was able to get off the cage most of the time. They both have one takedown, and Narula has a sub attempt, which I don't remember in the fight at all. I don't remember him going for a sub at all. But I guess he went for one. And yeah, it was just, I thought Narula would slow down as the fight went on, but he really didn't. He looked very good. I think that was mainly because Shamrock, he wasn't really like pressuring Narula back or trying to like get on the front foot and push Narula back to the cage, or like or kind of like he didn't really have the kind of physicality to really deter Narula. I keep saying fucking Narula from like exchanging with him, or like really can really defend his grappling. Shamrock. They both got one takedown. I think Narula got like a trip, or Narula got a trip and got no, he didn't get a trip. He got like a double leg, I think. Oh no. Yeah, I think he got a double leg, got Shamrock down to the cage. Shamrock was able to scramble out of it. Narula didn't really do anything with it, and then Shamrock got a takedown, I think middle of round 3. He got a trip on Narula, got the back, but couldn't really mount anything off it either. And yeah, this was kind of Narula being too powerful, too physical, and too good of a grappler for Shamrock, which is it's tough. It's tough for Shamrock. This is a really kind of hard debut. Narula, he's young, he's strong, he's athletic. And Shamrock, he's a good prospect. He's entertaining, but yeah, I think this was too tough of a test for him in his debut in the UFC, for him to really shine or really get his own offense off. So yeah, good performance from Narula. He's still undefeated, and yeah, I want to see more from Shamrock. I think give him less of a test in his fucking debut. You know, give him a guy who's gonna like strike with him or something like that, or give him like a good like kind of scrappy kind of guy that's willing to go to war, who's not as physical, like maybe a fucking, who's that lightweight like that? Maybe match him up with fucking Ethan Ewing, match him up with Ethan Ewing or some, no, Ethan Ewing, he's not a fucking lightweight. The fuck am I talking about? Who the fuck's that lightweight? Who would be a good matchup for him? Jeez. Who the fuck's that lightweight would be a good matchup for him? I don't know. Jeez. I can't think of anyone. But yeah, good performance from Narula Alayev. And that made me 1-1 on picks. And then moving on to this fight, we got Ismail Nurdayev defeating Ryan Loder in round 1 by vicious knockout. This fight was very abrupt and a very good performance from Nurdayev. Started off, Nurdayev was on the pressure, moving a lot, looking very jittery on the front foot, pressuring Ryan Loder back. At the start, Nurdayev, he landed a good 1-2 on Loder that really got his attention. They were moving around the cage. Ismail Nurdayev, he's on the front foot, pressuring really heavy, looking for a big shot. He was all coiled up, tucked up, all low too. He had a very low stance, was moving a lot, pressuring a lot, and then fucking bang, he lands a massive fucking overhand, a massive right hand over the top of Ryan Loder's guard and over the top of Ryan Loder's guard. I think I said God or some shit. Over the top of Ryan Loder's guard, puts him out cold badly with one fucking punch. He was completely out cold from one punch, Ryan Loder. And yeah, it was a great performance from Ismail Nurdayev. He said he was a fucking he said he wanted to finish. That's what the commentators were saying. He said they talked to fucking Nurdayev in the fighter meetings or whatever the fuck that means. They talked to him and he said, oh, he wants to finish in the Middle East or whatever. And he got that really fucking impressively and quickly too. Only 1 minute starched Loder out cold badly. And yeah, just great performance from him. What else can you say? Oh, and something I also wanted to mention, fucking Shamrock, he walked out to Many Men, which I thought was dope as hell. So yeah, I want to see more of Shamrock. Give him a fucking easier test. Give him an easier opponent next time. I don't think he should be cut at all, but yeah. Good performance from Ismail Nurdayev. Moving on, we got Alejandro Topuria defeating Beksat Almacan by unanimous decision. Topuria, he looked good, but he didn't look. Maybe I have such high expectations of him because of his brother, which is something that, like, you know, it's hard to avoid, bro. It's hard to avoid. It's tough to avoid your brother being such a star and such a generational talent in the UFC, and you having to come after him, and you being the older brother too, which probably something that weighs on him a lot. You having to follow up him, which you're gonna naturally do. People are just naturally gonna compare you to him as brothers. That's just how it is. I got a brother too, so I know. So yeah. I think the main concern of Alejandro Topuria is his footwork. He was kind of looking very like kind of flat-footed, not really on his toes like that, and kind of just plodding around. But it was a good performance overall. He was very heavy on the pressure. Alejandro Topuria backing Almacan up immediately, landing good jabs on him. That's also one thing Topuria's kind of weakened is he doesn't really throw combos. He kind of just sticks you with a jab. It's a stiff jab. He sticks you with it, and he tries to land a big right hand after it. He doesn't really like double jab, triple jab, and then throw the right hand, or like hook, or any kind of shit like that. He doesn't really throw long extended combinations. It's really just jab, right hand, jab, just shit like that. But yeah, he looked really good. He looked very good in the grappling. Alejandro Topuria. That's something he really I think he really kind of excels in, and he does more. His offensive grappling, I would say, is he shows more of it than Ilya. In the first round, he hit a great trip on fucking Almacan, where Almacan, he damn near went like vertical. He damn near went up and down. He fucking flung him all the way over with a hip toss. Alejandro Topuria. And then on the ground, he was controlling him. He was landing good ground and pound shots. Almacan, he did a good job of scrambling on the ground. He did a good job of scrambling and getting back up to his feet. But yeah, on the feet, it was just the pressure of Alejandro Topuria. Almacan, he was landing some good combos here and there. Some good exchanges like the uppercut and the left hook. That was those were the best punches from Almacan. Since Topuria, he was kind of dipping his head down and having a really kind of tall stance, which was crazy because am I wrong? But Alejandro Topuria, he does not look 5'7" at all. Like, he looks so much shorter. He looked so much shorter than Almacan. And Almacan, I think he had like a wider stance, or maybe they had the same. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. But I think Almacan, he looked taller. Topuria, he looked so much like stockier and more muscle bound. But yeah, it was just the pressure and the jab of Ilia Topuria that was really that he was stinging and put it on Almacan. He busted his nose with it too and caused some swelling under the eye. I think it was the right eye of Almacan. He did all of that in round 1. Round 2 was more of the same, just jab, pressure, very heavy on the front foot. Kind of plotting, not really cutting off the cage that much. Almacan was moving a lot around on the outside. Like in between, like right after the black line in the cage, he was moving a lot in there. Topuria, he wasn't really cutting off the cage. He was just kind of pressuring and following Almacan. And yeah, it was just more of the same. Another takedown I think he got in round 2. Just more jabs and some right hands. He was missing the right hand a lot in the first 2 rounds. He was missing it, and Almacan was seeing it. He wasn't really landing that clean when it did land. But in round 3, more of the pressure, and then Topuria stung Almacan with a big right hand that rocked him. In the first right hand he landed, dropped him. Not the first right hand, but he landed a good right hand on Almacan that dropped him, and then he landed another one that rocked him again. While he was pressuring him against the cage. And then that was the biggest moment of the fight. And then for the rest of round 3, it was just the same stuff, jab, moving forward. And he did all of that to the way to a decision. He won pretty clearly. I would say Almacan, I would say he won the first round. That's what I would say. He won the first round, and then Topuria took over the second and the third. But yeah, good stuff from Alejandro Topuria. Really showcasing the grappling. That's what I think he should do. I think he should offensively grapple and wrestle a lot more in this fight. But yeah, good win for Alejandro Topuria. Moving on, and that made me 3-1 on picks. That shit. But moving on, this fight was crazy. It was quick, and you can see the strike numbers, bro, and the fucking odds, bro. We got Abdul Rahman Yakiayev defeating Rafael Sakura in 33 seconds into the first round. This shit started off super crazy. First off, fucking Rahman, or I should say Yakiayev. Yakiayev starts off the fight, throws a fucking wheel kick at Rafael. I think he hits the hand of Rafael. He hits the hand or like the guard of Rafael, and it already from that, Rafael's already like moving wobbly and shit. He's like moving weird on it. And then Yakiayev saw that, pressured him, came in with a combo. I think he came in with like 1 or 2 punches, and then he throws a head kick at Rafael, drops him with the head kick. I thought he put him out with the head kick, to be honest. I thought he put him out cold. He put Rafael out cold with the head kick, but he puts him down with the head kick. Throws a couple ground and pound shots. Rafael gets up, and then fucking Yakiayev gets the back of Rafael, sinks in a rear naked choke with no hooks in. That's in on the chin of fucking Rafael. Doesn't need to like fidget with it or anything. Just sinks it in immediately under the chin of Rafael. pulls him back, gets both hooks in, and then Raphael just taps to it. Really good performance from Yakyayov. Raphael, just get out of the fucking UFC. You're just here to prop up and get fucking crushed by guys like this and people with hype coming into the fucking into the lightweight division. But yeah, it was a good performance. It doesn't really tell us anything since Raphael's so fucking shit and just exists to be dog shit and get fucking smushed and demolished by people. But yeah, good. It was a good performance. We need to see him tested. Yakyayov. We need to see him tested against someone that's actually good and that's not gonna fucking immediately get fucking put unconscious by a head kick and subbed out cold with no hooks. Maybe against Billy Alcana or something like that. He can Yakyayov can do something against him. But yeah, good performance from Yakyayov. Only dude representing fucking Turkey. Maybe you can maybe with this guy they can get someone other than fucking Hasanabi to represent them, because Jesus Christ, no or with that shit at all. No dignity from that. Jesus. But yeah, good stuff from Abdul Rahman Yakyayov. Moving on, we got Asu Amabayev defeating Alex Perez in round 3 with the guillotine. This fight was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. This fight was good. Alex Perez, he was looking really good in the first 2 rounds against Amabayev. He was coming in with big flurries, landing on Amabayev in the when he would rush in with big hooks and big flurries of hooks. He would rush in, catch Amabayev with them, just really pressuring him, getting him on the back foot, not really letting him mount any offense. And then Amabayev, somewhere, I think in the end of the first round, he starts finding the uppercut on Perez while he's coming in with his flurries. When Perez was throwing his flurries, he was dipping down a lot to throw his hooks. That's something he would do. He would dip down to throw to the body, and Amabayev was fighting the uppercut and then adding on the left hook with it to really stifle the closing the distance of or stifle the entries of Perez. He was finding that on Perez really good. Perez, he was taking him, just kind of going back, throwing his flurries, shooting takedowns on Amabayev. Amabayev, he defended some of them well. He scrambled up and got back to his feet really well on some of them. But yeah, it was looking like an Alex Perez fight. In the first and the second. Second was more of the same with the first, just Perez marching forward, throwing big flurries. Amabayev, he would find his uppercut, land the hook off of it too. And yeah, it was looking like Alex Perez, he was more active with it though. He was more active, and I felt like Perez's punches were landing with more impact on Amabayev than Amabayev was landing on Perez. But in the third round, it starts off fucking Alex Perez. He shoots in on Amabayev after like some standing on the feet. He shoots in on Amabayev with his head on the outside with the single leg, and Amabayev immediately just wraps up frickin' Perez's neck and then jumps guard with the guillotine, has it fully locked in from the fucking start. As soon as he jumped guard with it, has it fully locked in, fully locked in guillotine, and then subs Perez in round 3 with the guillotine, which is tough for Perez because that's the same way he lost to fucking to Davison Figueiredo in his first title shot. He got subbed with the guillotine, fully locked in, and yeah, it's tough. But good win for Asu Amabayev. He was making fucking belt gestures and shit. You're not gonna get a fucking title shot for defeating a fucking 7th ranked Alex Perez coming off a knee injury, dude. You're not gonna do that shit. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but yeah. And this guy was like, from Kazakhstan, in UFC there should be 2-3 fighters from Kazakhstan in all divisions in UFC. Like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, good win, good little comeback performance from Aswan Babayev after being down 2 rounds. Good little comeback win from him. Yeah. Moving on, we got the headliner of fuck am I saying? Not the headliner. We got Nicholas Dalby pulling off a split decision win against Sagid Uzagakmayev. This was really surprising to me. In the first round, Dalby, he came out and started clinching with Uzagakmayev, getting him in the clinch. They were both just exchanging knees to the body, knees to the thigh, all that shit, like palm strikes from the side from Uzagakmayev too. In the first round, just it was Dalby just pushing Uzagakmayev up against the fence in the clinch, throwing knees at each other. Then Uzagakmayev, he started kind of getting control. He started getting ahead of the knee and the clinch battle on Dalby, and then Dalby, I think they separated. They came in and striked for a bit. Then Dalby pushed him back up against the fence. Started wearing him a bit more knees to the body and all that shit like that. I think they grappled for a bit more. I think Dalby, he tried to trip on Uzagakmayev. Uzagakmayev, he popped right back up. Dalby didn't really get anything off of that. Just more knees to the body in the clinch, and then the first round ended. Second round, hold on. I think in the first round, Uzagakmayev took down Dalby. I think that's what it was. He took down Dalby with like a single leg, I think, out in the open. After they broke from the clinch and stopped kneeing each other and all that shit, he took down Dalby and kind of was on top of Dalby, controlling him. I think he landed like a couple shots. I think he took the back of Dalby in the first round, and then Dalby swerved out of it and escaped. Maybe the second round. It might have been the second round. He took the back of Dalby after a takedown. And then in the first round, he might have taken him down and then just controlled him and didn't really do anything with it. And and then Dalby was kind of staying busy with strikes off the bottom at the end of the first round. And then the second round, more clinch, and then Uzagakmayev took down Dalby, got the back of Dalby, just was doing the typical Dagestani, just controlling from the back, just kind of fishing, looking to fish for a rear naked, swooping the arm off, controlling the wrist and all that shit like that. Just kind of doing the daggy thing. And then Dalby, he spun around to guard he spun around to get on top and escape the back take, and then was in the guard of Uzagakmayev, and they kind of stayed there to the end of till the end of the second, and then the third. Uzagakmayev, he was really tired and really gassed out and wasn't really throwing, and then Dalby, he just took control of the striking, just put a pace on him, put pressure on him, just landing it on the feet and pushing Uzagakmayev up against the cage, controlling him up against the cage, knees, all that shit, clinch work. Fucking Dalby, he really just stole the fight as the fight went on. Uzagakmayev, he showed really bad cardio, gassing out after grappling hard for fucking not even 2 rounds, a round and a half. He gassed out and just looked shit on the feet. He looked really stationary. Even in the first round, when they were on the feet at moments, he looked super stationary. Didn't really throw anything. Wasn't really trying to do much at all. And Dalby with a little crafty vet performance, little crafty grappling vet performance on fucking Dagestani, nonetheless. But good win for Dalby. Good little crafty little vet pick. I mean, vet win for Dalby. Moving on to the headliner of the prelims, we got Luke Riley defeating Bogdan in the second round by KO. This fight was also kind of crazy because Bogdan immediately as the fight started, he stood on the feet and then he immediately looked to take down Luke Riley. Immediately shot in, got him up against the cage, started pushing him up against the cage, started controlling him in the clinch, you know, dropping down to wrap his hands over the legs or get a lock over the legs to try and take down Luke Riley. Luke Riley, he was just staying calm, staying patient, defending the grappling up against the cage from Bogdan, not letting him lock his hands under to lift up the legs, get the legs off the cage and take him down. Just staying calm, defending all of the grappling from Bogdan. At some point they separate at the end of the first, stand on the feet for a little bit. Bogdan, he throws like some kicks here and there. It looks overall just kind of looks fucking stupid with his weird shaped head in the in the end of the first round. And then the second round comes. They both a second round comes. It starts. Yeah, they both get into the center. They both start exchanging in the striking. They get into a little flurry, a little exchange, and then fucking Luke Riley lands to the body, and then he comes over the top with the left hook that rocks Bogdan super badly, drops him bad. I thought he was out from the initial punch, but Bogdan, he was out kind of like as he was falling, then he hits the ground, kind of wakes back up. Luke Riley gets on him, starts throwing ground and pound. Bogdan, he defends a little bit, kind of gets his leg in between Riley, pushes him off, and then Luke Riley throws his legs to the side and starts fucking hammering, starts fucking battering him, lad. You know, start fucking putting the mustard on him, putting the fucking beans on him, lad. He's fucking smashing him, lad, battering him, lad. Fucking hits him with a tin of beans, lad. You know, he starts smashing him with a ground and pound, and then puts Bogdan out cold with ground and pound in the second round in 30 seconds. Luke Riley. Overall, it's looking fucking mean, dude. That was a really good performance from Luke Riley. You know what I mean, lad? Man needs to stop fucking talking, lad. You know what I mean? Lad, just batter him, lad. He's a fucking tin of beans, lad. He's a fucking cabbage, lad. It's a fucking sausage, lad. Yeah, Luke Riley, really good performance, good comeback victory from Luke Riley after it was looking really bleak in the first round. Thought it was gonna be a fucking, you know, smudge grappling fest from Bogdan. Even after the whole walkout he did, Bogdan, he comes out like that, immediately looks to grapple. He walked out like one arm across him, like holding one of his coaches, and the other arm across him holding another one of his coaches. Like fucking, he came out looking like Dracula and shit as he's walking out, and then to come out and try and smudge wrestle our boy Luke Riley, and then get put out in the second round, put out badly, out cold in the second round. All or lost from Bogdan. But yeah, good win from Luke Riley. Stays undefeated. You got fucking, you know, Patty Pimblett in the corner, yelling, screaming, you know what I mean? Fucking bottom blood. You know what I mean? He's a fucking tin of beans. He's a fucking sausage blood. You know, good shit. He came out on the post-fight speech. You know, I can fucking bang with the left too. You know, I come with the fucking knockout, lad. Expecting the fucking knockout. It was a fucking shite first round, lad. I'm not gonna lie. My own was fucking critic, lad. Fucking shite first round. Come out, I bang with the fucking left and I bang with the right too, lad. I said it was gonna be the right, but I fucking bang with the left too. You know, a good win from Luke Riley. Moving on, and that made me let's see, 1-0, 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, and then 5-3. So 5-3 on the prelims. Not looking too shabby, if I do say so myself. And then the main card starts. We got Kyoji Horiguchi pulling off the underdog win pulling off the underdog win on fucking Tagir Ulanbekov. This looked like a really good fucking performance, or looked like it was a really good performance for Kyoji Horiguchi. And I just want to say, how fucking good is Demetrius Johnson, bro? How fucking good is Demetrius Johnson? Cause fucking he beat this guy 9 fucking years ago. 9 years ago, Demetrius Johnson subbed this guy. And then he comes back into the UFC and fucking schools and beats the fuck out of the 11th ranked flyweight that was currently in the world. Comes back, beats him up, fucking schools him, subs him in the 3rd round. Does fucking Kyoji Horiguchi. But yeah, this was a really good performance from Kyoji Horiguchi. He looked really fast compared to Tagir Ulanbekov, even though he was like way smaller. That's kind of a thing I'm worried about moving forward about Kyoji Horiguchi. He was really small in this fight against Tagir Ulanbekov. But he made it work, man. He really made it work. He was way faster than Tagir Ulanbekov, blitzing in with big looping shots. Kyoji Horiguchi from the start of the first to the end of the 3rd, blitzing in with looping shots, looping overhands, stinging Tagir Ulanbekov on the feet. Tagir Ulanbekov just looking like a fucking dumbass with his hands held up like this, just fucking standing there all tall and shit, looking like a bitch. Just looking like a fucking dumbass. Tagir Ulanbekov, Kyoji Horiguchi just moving around a lot, kind of pressuring Tagir Ulanbekov too, had him on the back foot, pressuring him, blitzing him, using his speed advantage really well, using his lack of size really well. I want to say Tagir Ulanbekov, he's like fighting guys who are like 5'6", like 5'5", around that range. Kyoji Horiguchi being like 5'4" and really fast was kind of making Tagir, it was like throwing him off a bit. I want to say it was throwing off Tagir Ulanbekov, kind of making it really hard for him to hit and land clean on Kyoji Horiguchi. But yeah, Kyoji Horiguchi moving around, using his speed, blitzing in and out, using a lot of movement. And when it came to the grappling, he looked super good against Tagir Ulanbekov. Was defended Ulanbekov's wrestling. Didn't really let Tagir Ulanbekov get a lot of control time on him. Reversed the positions, defended the defense wrestling really good, better than I thought he would, coming from Ryzen to the UFC. Having such a long like stint at Ryzen and kind of getting used to the ring and how they do it over there, to come back and defend the cage wrestling really well and not let Tagir Ulanbekov, the fucking Dagestani NPC, get control time off you, stall you against the cage, do all that kind of shit. And also dominating Ulanbekov in the grappling too. He got side control on him, was hitting him with ground and pound. It says he got I think Horiguchi might have pulled a guillotine or something like that on Tagir in one of the takedown attempts. He pulled a guillotine on him. I think that's why that says a sub attempt here. But yeah, just looking really good overall in the grappling and in the striking. 3rd round came along, or no, might not even guillotine. The sub attempt just could be just a rear naked he got. But that might have been another fight. But yeah, just looking really good. Was hitting him with shots, hitting him with right hands over the top, and just bitching him and beating him up. And then the 3rd round came along, was really started putting it on Tagir, Taguera had 10 fucking strikes? He landed 10 strikes on fucking Kyoji Horiguchi. Holy shit, he was whooping his ass. Holy shit, Horiguchi was whooping the fuck out of him. I gotta go and watch that fight back again. Because I thought the numbers would be way closer than that. He landed 10 strikes on him. Holy shit. What the hell? Yeah, fucking Horiguchi, he was whooping his ass. Whooping his ass really good. Then the third round came along. I think he dropped Ulanbekov with a head kick. I said a head kick. A head kick. Dropped Ulanbekov with a head kick. Hit him with a flurry. Then Ulanbekov recovered. And then I think he dropped him again with a right hand over the top. Dropped him again. Got him to the ground. Got on him. Got his back. And then fucking cinched up a rear naked immediately on Ulanbekov. And Ulanbekov, he tapped. And then the ref didn't stop the fight after Ulanbekov tapped. Ulanbekov tapped, and then Kyoji Horiguchi, he just kept holding on, and then I think he put him out cold, put him to sleep with it, or just about put him to sleep. But yeah, really dominant performance from Kyoji Horiguchi, really good performance. Showed a lot of speed, showed a lot of mobility, and showed really good grappling in the flyweight division. And now he's gonna be top 15. I think he has a good case, a good run for he can make a decent run for the belt at flyweight. And he also called out Pantoja. He called him out in the most like fucking most like he called him out like if a American was doing like a Japanese impression of an Asian guy that wants a title shot in the UFC, like Pantoja, I want to the belt, I want the UFC belt, like that kind of shit. Yeah, that's legit how it sounds. Look up the fucking post-fight interview of this fight. That is legit how fucking Kyoji Horiguchi sounded. But yeah, good win from him, good performance, and I think he can make a decent run at the belt if he keeps on looking like this. But yeah, and that made me 5-4 on picks. Yeah, 5-4 on picks. Moving on. Now, this is why I fucking post on like the day before of post my fight predictions the day before the card, cause we got Sergey Spivak pulling out and Waldo Cortez Acosta stepping in for him. And you know what that means? My pick automatically transitions to fucking Waldo Cortez Acosta. And Waldo Cortez Acosta, he gets it done in the first round. Knocks out Shamil Gaziev with a massive right hand in the first round. Fucking ends the Blob legend, ends the Blob discussion. Waldo Cortez Acosta, he's the King Blob. He's the King Blob. He's the top B, bro. He is the top B, Waldo Cortez Acosta. Which is weird, because he doesn't even, like, look that, like, blobby. He doesn't really have, like tons and tons of, like, fat on his stomach. When he flexes, he has, like, abs when he flexes. Which is kind of weird. Because he's not, like, lean, but he's also, like, not, like, fat. Like, he's not, like, Shamil Gaziev fat, where you can't see any abs. He has, like, stomach fat, but you can still, like, kind of see abs, which is weird. But, yeah, this was just, like, a textbook Waldo Cortez Acosta performance. Waldo Cortez Acosta, he gets in his little stances, massive fucking way too open to leg kick stance, which is like, I think that's kind of on purpose, because when people kick Waldo Cortez Acosta's leg, he does like kick back at him, and it kind of draws them into him, which is what I think he wants. So Shamil Gaziev, there he's on the presser, he has Waldo Cortez Acosta backed up to the fence. There was they exchanged low kicks, they trade in the they trade for a little bit in the pocket. Walter Cortez Acosta, one thing that also helps him, he has an amazing chin for heavyweight. Like, Shamil Gassiev hit him clean, and Walter Cortez Acosta just answered right back at him with no, like, didn't look wobbled at all. So yeah, they exchange up against the fence. They land a few punches on each other, and then Walter Cortez Acosta, he kind of turns around and gets off of the fence. Or no, I think he hurt Shamil on the fence with his back to the fence. I think he hurt Shamil with the right hand that rocked Shamil, and then he kind of got on him, got his back off the fence. They kind of stuck in the center a bit, and then Walter Cortez Acosta just fucking bombs a right hand over the top of Shamil's lead hand. That puts Shamil out. Not out cold, but it dropped him really bad, and then Shamil just fucking put his hands over his face like this, and he just knew he was fucking cooked. He was like, Wallahi, I'm finished. He knew he was cooked, and then the referee stops the fight from there, and yeah, that's a good fucking win from Walter Cortez Acosta. He called out Aspinall too. He was wearing the fucking eye patch in the post-fight little hand raising thing they do. He put the eye patch on Bisping as well, which was funny as hell. And yeah, he also said he wants to fight one more time this year in December, which I think will be pretty fucking good. And he's really like rising, which is very unexpected. The last thing I would expect is a fucking Waldo Cortez Acosta meteoric rise at heavyweight. We got the fucking, I know black, I Dominican, I know black. No, I know black, I Dominican. We got that in the fucking at heavyweight as a like prominent contender. I mean, not configure. Prominent like contender. No, I know black, I Dominican. No. No, I know black, I Dominican. Bang. Yeah, we got that shit, but really good win from Waldo Cortez Acosta. What else can you say? He also called out Tom Aspinall too. Like, Aspinall, I need one for you, He's like that shit on the mic, but yeah, good win from him. That made me 6-4. 6-4. Moving on, we got Maktabek Orboy with the fucking stunner. Maktabek Orboy knocking out Jack Hermansson in round 1. Crazy, unbelievable. This started off really high pace. Maktabek Orboy, he was on the pressure, backed Jack Hermansson up to the fence, had his back to the fence, was kind of like landing on him, keeping up, starting off with a really high pace. They were both like exchanging combos. Jack Hermansson, he was jabbing, he was sticking his chin way up in the fucking air, which is a middleweight habit. He got just sticking his chin up in the air, trying to jab and trying to move around the cage. They were both like exchanging punches, exchanging combos. I think Maktabek Orboy, he tried to clinch too. Jack Hermansson defended that off really well. He didn't really let Orboy get off in the grappling like he wanted to, and then they strike for a bit more, more boxing exchanges, more of Hermansson just looking like a really jittery and kind of like nervous, sticking his chin up in the air, throwing jabs with his chin up in the air and shit like that, and then fucking Orboy just throws a right hand that looks like it doesn't even land that fucking well. It like, watching the replay, the right hand, it hits the ear of Hermansson and like skims the temple of Hermansson as well. And that literally put Hermansson out cold, limp, just fucking like his soul left his body. Ragdoll fucking limp, out cold knockout from a right hand skimming the temple of Hermansson. puts him completely out cold badly. And that was it. That was it for Hermansson. Orbai gets a big knockout win, which is really expected because he hasn't really shown that he has like big power like that. He went life and death with fucking Mateusz Rebecki. He hasn't really looked good in the striking at all, and to put out Hermansson like that, I think this was more of just Hermansson just getting knocked out in his last fight and then cutting to welterweight. Yeah, I think yeah, this is a bad move from Hermansson. I know I picked Hermansson because I thought he would crafty it up. He would be able to craft it up, and I thought he would be more durable at welterweight. But after this shit, yeah, no, I think it's fucking wraps for Hermansson, bro. Cutting that much weight, getting knocked out from a glancing temple shot from a guy who doesn't even get known to hit that hard. Has never really shown like having that much power in the striking, especially in the hands. Yeah, I think it's up for Hermansson, but good win for Maktabek Orbai. And yeah, the main card was pretty fucking great, to be honest. Like all three finishes in the main card so far, from what I covered, and yeah, good win for Orbai. Moving on to the featured fight, and that made me 6-5. With that, 6-5. Moving on to the featured fight of the card, we got Volkan Oezdemir KOing Alonzo Menifield. I almost forgot his fucking name. KOing Alonzo Menifield in the first round. This was Volkan Oezdemir just looking like his old self, getting on the pressure, having really good boxing. He threw a left uppercut, left knee sort of combo that initially hurt Menifield. He was just backing Menifield up for the entire time, not allowing Menifield to like kind of bum rush him with overhands like he usually does. Backing up Menifield, getting him on the back foot. And I said in my prediction video, that's where Menifield just really opens up and just gets really shit at fighting. And yeah, just Volkan Oezdemir just did that. It did look kind of hairy in some of the exchanges. They did have like an early exchange where both of them were trading. And Volkan Oezdemir, he moved kind of funny after the exchange, like he was rocked, but he was okay. Then yeah, he lands a big uppercut, left knee that hurt Menifield, and then just teed off on his ass up against the cage, and then just put him out with a big flurry. Put him out cold, like a standing unconscious knockout, where Menifield was just like out on his fucking feet, just eyes rolled back in his head, just not had his arms stick out, not defending at all. And yeah, it's really fucking really good performance, really good performance from fucking Volkan Oezdemir. And he also said he wants to make a run at the belt. He's not getting to the fucking belt at all. He did look good, but I don't think he's getting to the belt at all. But yeah, really good performance from Volkan Oezdemir. That made me 7-5. 7-5 on picks. Moving on to the co-main event of the card. We got Ian fucking Gary. We got Ian Gary defeating Bilal Muhammad 30-27 on 2 scored cards. Yeah, this was exactly what I thought it would be. Ian Gary having too good of movement, too technical in the striking, having way more weapons than Bilal Muhammad, just being too tall and lanky too. Bilal Muhammad, he couldn't really take down Ian Gary at all. Couldn't mount any takedown offense because Ian Gary was just using his height, using his length to make it really weird and awkward, and having really good balance and just being bigger than Bilal Muhammad. This reminded me of Sean Brady and Miles Morales in a very like weird way. Just Miles Morales making the comparison, like Ian Gary started being like the Miles Morales, just being way too big, and then Bilal Muhammad being like the Sean Brady, just being like just a short, stocky wrestler, just kind of having like an outdated build for this weight class. I think Bilal Muhammad and like Sean Brady and these guys, they have an outdated build for welterweight. These guys are just getting way taller and way bigger than like these other guys, like Sean Brady and like Bilal Muhammad and them. And yeah, this was just Ian Gary being too technical, using the oblique kicks really well, leg kicks, head kicks, mixing it up with that. And also Bilal Muhammad just not having the punching power to really like stifle or deter or hurt Ian Gary. Every time Bilal Muhammad landed good on Ian Gary with a right hand, Ian Gary would just fucking smile at him and eat it. So yeah, just Bilal Muhammad not having the power, being too small, not having enough tools in this game, not having enough folds in this game, and Ian Gary just being better, being taller, and yeah, being more technical. Yeah, that's all there is. And fucking, that was it for the entire fight. Just Ian Gary just leg kicks, outboxing Bilal, out kicking him, defending all of the grappling. Yeah, and he also eye poked Bilal at the start of the first round. He eye poked Bilal, and then I think in the second round there was another like kind of eye poke thing, but it ended up being clean. So yeah, and they didn't take a point from any of them. So fuck them. Ian Gary, he called out Islam. They're kind of gonna fucking sell the fucking McGregor Khabib shitty 2.0 version. Try and sell that shit, which is I have no interest in and no hype in. Like, what the fuck are we trying to do here? But yeah, he does. I think Ian Gary, even though he does annoy the fuck out of me, and I wish somebody would sleep this fucker out cold. He does deserve a title shot since he beat the fucking number 2 ranked guy, Bilal Muhammad. Yeah. So yeah, enough fucking Ian Gary. That's enough Ian Gary for one fucking night, one day. Jesus. Moving on, we got the main event of the evening. We got Arman Tsarukyan defeating Dan Hooker in round 2 with an arm triangle, which is something I really didn't expect. But yeah, Arman, he looked really good in this fight. He looked good in the striking. One thing about Arman, he has very underrated clinch striking. He has good knees when he throws them, good timing on the knees, and he throws them at the right time. And he also has good like shots around the arms when people clinch him, like kind of like good looping shots over the top of people's arms so they don't really see them. And he has good breaks off the clinch too. But yeah, fucking Tsarukyan, he looked good on the feet, catching the kicks of Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker, he was just kind of switching stances with his hands down, kicking at Tsarukyan. Not really trying to set up anything or putting any like power into anything, just kicking at him. Tsarukyan was doing better in the boxing for the most part, landing good like 1-2s and shit and good combos with the hands on Dan Hooker. And then he shoots in on Dan Hooker in the first round, gets him down, starts controlling him with Hooker, he tries to get a guillotine on Tsarukyan, tries to wrap him up with the guillotine. Tsarukyan rolls out of it completely, just spins out of it. and ends up on top of Hooker, controls him. Hooker goes for like a inverted triangle kind of position on goes for inverted triangle on Sarukian, doesn't get it, doesn't do anything with it, and then Sarukian just controls him on top. Ground and pound from side control. That's what he was in for in the first round for most of the fight, or for most of the first round. Just inside control, ground and pound, little shots here and there. And then the first round ends. Second round, more of the same stuff on the feet. Hooker throwing kicks, Armin catching him, and then he takes down Dan Hooker again. Dan Hooker tries to threaten another guillotine. Doesn't really get it. It's not in. Armin spins out of it again. Ends up on top. In a side control. Ends up on top. And also in the first round, Sarukian tried to get a crucifix on Dan Hooker, but he defended it well. Hooker. But in the second round, gets Dan Hooker down. Dan Hooker threatens a guillotine, doesn't get it. Armin spins out of it, gets into the guard of Dan Hooker. They're in the guard for a little bit. Armin's throwing trying to like get more on top of Dan Hooker. He's kind of like, Dan Hooker like kind of has a high guard at first, and then Armin just kind of shrimps like up to get his head closer to Dan Hooker's, so it can end up throwing more effective ground and pound and really posturing up. He does that, starts unloading ground and pound on Hooker. Hooker, covers up, opens up his guard. Armin passes his guard, gets into mount, and then he threatens an arm triangle on Dan Hooker. He ends up getting it from mount, and then Dan Hooker taps from it. So yeah, good stuff, quick performance, good technical performance from Armin Sarukian. He had no energy on the fucking mic though, which is really really disheartening, because he puts on a good performance, a good dominant performance over Dan Hooker, and then he's just, yeah, Amelia, you have to fight me. Everybody know I have to fight for the title next. Yeah, everybody know I want to thank everybody, my fans, because he just all fucking lackadaisical on the mic. Jesus, I can't speak. All lackadaisical on the mic. Doesn't really. He says Ilya, but doesn't feel like a call out or anything like that. Doesn't really put any energy in it, and yeah. It was a good performance, but doesn't really like get me hyped. That's the thing about Sarukian. He doesn't like really get me hype for fights. He'll do some like shit at the weigh-ins or whatever, like headbutt someone at the weigh-ins and shit. But when it comes to actual like the fighting, he doesn't really like get me hype, which is weird. But yeah, good performance for Sarukian, and overall it was a good card. Mostly majority finishes on the main card, except for the fucking Ian Gary little stinker. But yeah, good performance on the card, good knockouts, good submissions too. Overall, just a really solid card for the UFC's first time in Qatar. And yeah, overall I went 9 in picks, 9 and 5 on picks, which is pretty good for me. All is considering, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the card. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and sub, even hit the share button and shit like that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.